Have you ever felt like your cat is judging you? Not in an obvious way like a dog when it's excited or upset, but something quieter, more subtle. A passing glance, a slight turn of the head, a moment when they walk away for no clear reason, and you find yourself wondering, what did I do wrong? The truth is, cats don't live by the rules humans understand. They follow a system of silent, unspoken expectations, rules that are never taught, never explained, but tested every single day. And if you don't understand them, you will never truly understand your cat. Cats don't argue, they don't complain, they simply observe. And over time, they decide who you are in their world, someone they trust, or just a large creature they happen to share a home with. Most people believe caring for a cat is about food, water, and a little affection, but that's only the surface. What truly matters lies in the smallest moments, the behaviors you don't even notice. In this video, you're about to discover 6 unspoken rules your cat expects you to follow every day. And once you understand them, you'll realize your relationship with your cat isn't random. It's being built or slowly broken, moment by moment, through actions that seem insignificant. And it all begins with something almost everyone gets wrong. The first part is about eye contact, but not in the way you think. Humans often believe that looking into someone's eyes is a sign of connection. It shows attention, care, presence. But in a cat's world, it means something completely different. Imagine you're sitting near your cat and you look directly into their eyes. You hold that gaze for a few seconds, maybe a little longer because you find them adorable. To you, it feels like a calm, bonding moment. But in your cat's mind, a completely different story is unfolding. In the wild, cats are both predators and prey. They live in a world where every small signal carries meaning, and one of the strongest signals is eye contact. When two cats stare at each other, it's not friendliness, it's confrontation. It's what happens right before conflict. So when you stare at your cat, even for just a few seconds, you're sending a signal they can't interpret any other way. They don't know you love them. They only know you're looking like a challenger. That's why many cats will look away, not because they don't care, but because they are choosing to avoid conflict. They're choosing peace. But each time it happens, they also learn something about you. You don't speak their language. However, cats do have their own way of expressing trust. A very small, very slow gesture that's easy to miss if you're not paying attention. It's the slow blink. When a cat looks at you and slowly closes its eyes, then opens them again, it's not tiredness, it's trust. It's saying it feels safe enough not to keep watching you constantly. And if you respond with a slow blink and gently look away, you're telling them the same thing. That's the real conversation between you and your cat. No words, but perfectly clear. The second part begins with something more familiar, petting. It's how most people show affection to their cats. A gentle stroke on the head, a scratch under the chin, a hand running down their back. And when your cat starts purring, you assume you're doing everything right. But then, without warning, your cat turns and bites you. Not hard, but enough to surprise you. And you wonder, why? The answer lies in something many people never consider. Sensation has limits. A cat's body is incredibly sensitive. Their skin is filled with nerve receptors that respond to every touch. When you begin petting, it can feel pleasant. It triggers positive reactions, helping your cat relax, even enjoy the moment. But if you continue for too long, too repetitively, in the same spot, that sensation changes. It shifts from pleasant to stimulating, then from stimulating to irritating, and at a certain point, it becomes overwhelming. The important thing is, your cat can't tell you that's enough. They don't have words. Instead, they communicate through subtle signals. The tail starts flicking faster, the ears lower slightly, the body becomes tense. Sometimes the skin along their back ripples like a wave. These signals appear before the reaction, but most people miss them, not because they're invisible, but because we're not looking for them. We're caught up in the moment, assuming everything is still fine. And when the threshold is crossed, your cat reacts, not out of aggression, but because it's the only way they can say stop. Understanding this changes everything. Petting is no longer a one-sided action. It becomes a conversation. You're not just touching your cat, you're listening to their body. The third part brings you to something you may have never considered: space. Your home to you is something you arrange, decorate, and change whenever you want. But to your cat, it's a map, a structured system of territory defined by scent and memory. Every place your cat frequently sits, sleeps, or walks through carries their mark, invisible pheromones left behind from their face, their paws, their body. It's how they say, "This is mine, this is safe." When you move a chair, relocate a blanket, or clean out a corner your cat regularly uses, you're not just changing objects, you're altering their map. Imagine waking up one day and your entire room has been rearranged without warning. Familiar things are no longer where they should be. Pathways are different. Your sense of control disappears. That's what your cat experiences when their environment changes suddenly. Some cats react visibly. They become anxious, eat less, or hide in new places. Others react more quietly, but that doesn't mean they aren't affected. The key isn't to never change anything, it's how you change it. Gradual adjustments give your cat time to update their internal map. The fourth part focuses on a moment you may have never considered important: mealtime. For humans, eating can be social. We talk, interact, and share space. But for cats, eating is a private act tied deeply to survival instincts. When a cat eats, it's in its most vulnerable state. Its head is down, attention is focused on food, awareness of surroundings is reduced. In the wild, that's when danger is highest. So when you stand nearby, talk, or try to touch your cat while it's eating, you introduce something it can't ignore: your presence. Even if you mean no harm, your cat can't analyze that. It only knows there's a large being nearby while it's not fully able to defend itself. The result isn't always immediate. Your cat may continue eating, but internally stress increases. Over time, this can lead to behaviors like eating too fast, vomiting, or avoiding food when people are nearby. Creating a quiet, separate eating space isn't spoiling your cat, it's respecting a fundamental need. The fifth part returns to something very simple, yet overlooked: presence. When you walk into your home, it's a transition moment. For you, it marks the end of your day, but for your cat, it's an event. Your cat recognizes you, your footsteps, the way you open the door, your scent. And when you appear, it makes a choice: approach you or not. If you ignore that moment, nothing dramatic happens. Your cat doesn't protest, but it remembers. And over time, it adjusts. It may approach you less, greet you less, not because it stopped caring, but because it learned the response isn't there. A small acknowledgement, a glance, a soft voice, a gentle gesture is enough to maintain that connection. The sixth part is the one that surprises most people: where your cat chooses to sleep. Sleep is the most vulnerable state any animal can be in. When your cat sleeps, it can't react quickly or fully monitor its surroundings. So where your cat chooses to sleep is not random. It's a decision based on how safe it feels. A cat that sleeps close to you, on your chest or near your face, is showing deep trust. It chooses to be near you in its most defenseless state. A cat that sleeps at the foot of the bed still wants closeness but keeps a bit of distance. It balances connection with caution. And a cat that sleeps elsewhere isn't showing rejection. It's providing information, a signal that something in the environment or your interactions hasn't made it fully comfortable yet. There are no permanent conclusions. Cats constantly update their judgment. Every day, every interaction, every choice you make contributes to how they see you. These rules aren't meant to make you anxious. They're not impossible standards. They're an opportunity. An opportunity to understand that your relationship with your cat isn't automatic. It's built through awareness, respect, and the ability to see the world through the eyes of another creature. And when you begin to do that, you'll realize that cats were never as mysterious as they seemed. They were simply speaking a language you were never taught.